Hey guys, um, today we're going to be talking about Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. Um, mm, I really thought I would like this more than I did. Really thought that I would. I because the reason why I thought that I would like it a lot more than I did is because it's about sleepwalkers, which is an ancient, ancient legend about basically shapeshifters who have the ability to live for long amounts of time. They have to feed. Um, they cannot. They also take the souls of people. Are actually able to remove their souls, and that's how they're able to stay young. And most of that legend is what the legend of vampires was based on. It is based on. Um, So I really thought that I would like this because it's a different kind of mythological creature to talk about. It's one that not a lot of people cover. Of course, Stephen King would cover it. This is based on a Stephen King story. But something about this, and I don't know what it is, it just didn't. It's like a lot of things about it were right, a lot of things were good, but as a whole, I just didn't feel that it worked. Not as well as it could have. Now, stories based on Stephen King, and the books and short stories that he writes are often hit and miss. Now, I have kind of come to a conclusion that any movie that's based on a Stephen King story that Stephen King has direct involvement with isn't always going to turn out good. I don't know why that is. I hate making that statement because I love Stephen King. I really do. I think Stephen King is fantastic. He is a master in the horror literature genre. But when he gets involved with a movie adaptation of one of his works, things just don't turn out. And this was one of those. He was directly involved with this. He was even in it. He had a small cameo in it. But when you take one of his stories and let somebody else do it, they usually turn out fantastic. And a big part of that is because Stephen King has a way of writing that works in a book. It doesn't always translate. His direct influence on the story doesn't always translate well into a movie. That's why so many of the movies that are incredibly popular that are based on his works change a lot of things and take a lot of things out. Good example of that, look at The Shining, look at Carrie, the original. The remake is a different story. If you really want my opinion on that, look from a couple of years ago when I did originals versus remakes in horror. Apt Pupil is another good example of that. I don't know, when he has direct influence on it, for some reason, there's something about it that just isn't quite right. This is a good example of that. It's very 80s. It's very much it actually kind of has a little bit of a Lost Boys vibe to it. Not quite as much though. And some of the performances are actually really good in this. The main female, the main human female, Mashkin Amik, she is fantastic. She does a great job. And Alice Krieg is in this. Oh, Alice Krieg she's just so good. She is the sci-fi queen in a lot of ways. She was in Star Trek. She played the commander of the Borg. She's one of the people that's just been in a lot of stuff. You see her and you immediately recognize her. You don't necessarily know what from, but you see her and you immediately recognize her. She has the innate ability to be able to be beautiful, sexy, alluring, and terrifying all at the same time. I'm not sure how she does that, but she is great in this as the mother. She is so good. She very much has a. She actually kind of has a vibe of like Miss White from Carrie. Maybe Stephen King just writes mothers that way. I don't know. That's an interesting thought that I just had that I'm going to have to think about mothers and other Stephen King stories and if they're all kind of the same way. Anyway, it's an interesting story. There's a lot of cats in it, which is a plus because I like cats. But like I said, it's an interesting story. It's not incredibly well executed, but there are a lot of good things in this. I don't know that I recommend it. If you like Stephen King stories and Stephen King in general, then definitely check it out because it's part of his collection, and it's a decent one, like I said. So that's pretty much all I got to say. This is a really short one, sorry guys, but I mean, I just don't really have anything else to say about it. Maybe 5 out of 10. You know, I do have more Stephen King reviews from last year, and if I can find them, I'm gonna put them up. So be on the lookout for them. They'll be part of the series. They'll be if I can find them. So if you see one that are just kind of random and don't have me doing any sort of regular intro or a different kind of intro to it, then they're from last year. I just never posted them, and I'm just going to throw them out there as a bonus. So keep on the lookout for that, and I'll see you next time.